Are you tired of endlessly scrolling through Netflix trying to find something truly mind-blowing to watch? Well, get ready, because in 2025 and 2026, Netflix is dropping movies that will seriously mess with your mind. In today's video, I'm bringing you the top 10 brand new Netflix movies that look way too good to skip. We're talking spine-chilling suspense, dark crime thrillers, and murder mysteries that will keep you glued to your screen. And trust me, the #1 movie on this list is so intense, it might keep you up all night. So without wasting another second, let's dive straight into the countdown. What if a brutal murder took place inside a church, in a sealed room, and the killer simply vanished into thin air? The story unfolds in a small American town. During a Good Friday prayer service, the town's most respected and beloved priest is found mysteriously murdered. The darkest twist? The concrete room where the body is discovered was locked from the inside. Suspicion immediately falls on a young new priest who had recently arrived. A renowned detective is called in to solve what appears to be an impossible locked room murder. As the investigation deepens, the sacred church begins to reveal terrifying secrets: missing money, corruption, and a hidden darkness no one expected. Is the new priest truly the killer? And how did the murderer escape a sealed room? This mind-bending mystery will keep you guessing until the very end. If you enjoy suspenseful locked room mysteries and smart detective stories that challenge your mind, don't miss this one. The film is Wake Up Dead Man, a knives-out mystery, a gripping murder mystery available on Netflix. What if a man's obsession with defeating death created a creature that would ultimately destroy his own life? The story follows a brilliant but unhinged scientist who defies the laws of nature by stitching together parts of the dead to bring a strange new being to life. But the moment the creature opens its eyes, the scientist recoils in horror at what he has created, abandoning it to wander the world alone. Rejected by society and met only with hatred and fear, the lonely being's search for love turns into rage. Now the creature sets out to take terrifying revenge on the very creator responsible for its suffering. Can the scientist escape the death he created? And who is the real monster, the creature, or the man who made it? This dark suspense story will leave you questioning everything. If you enjoy dark sci-fi horror and haunting stories that stay with you long after they end, don't miss this one. The film is Frankenstein, a classic horror masterpiece with strong ratings, available on Netflix. The story follows a professional rock climber who travels to a remote and dangerous wilderness in Australia for a quiet getaway. But deep in the wild, she encounters a terrifying serial killer who hunts humans for sport. And now she is his next target. Surrounded by towering cliffs with no escape and no help in sight, she must rely on her climbing skills and the unforgiving terrain to survive. Can she escape the grip of this ruthless predator alive? In this deadly game of cat and mouse, who will come out on top? The tension here will leave you breathless. If you enjoy dark survival thrillers packed with relentless tension, don't miss this one. The film is Apex, a chilling survival thriller arriving on Netflix on April 24th, 2026. What would you do if you came home from work and found your entire family reduced to ashes in a devastating fire? The story follows a laborer working deep in the forests, laying railway tracks in harsh and isolated terrain. After years of struggle, he finally builds a small, loving family with his wife and young daughter. One day, while he is away at work, a massive wildfire tears through the forest. When he returns, his home is nothing but charred remains. His wife and daughter have vanished without a trace. Now he is left alone in the wilderness, surrounded only by silence, grief, and haunting memories. Will he ever find his missing family? And in the crushing weight of isolation and loss, what will become of him? This emotional journey will stay with you long after it ends. If you appreciate deep, emotional, and dark survival dramas, this is one film you shouldn't miss. The film is Train Dreams, a moving drama with strong ratings, available on Netflix. What if a major American city had only 18 minutes left before destruction, and a nuclear missile was racing toward it? The story begins when a nuclear missile is launched from an unknown location toward the city of Chicago. With millions of lives at stake, the government and military have less than 20 minutes to prevent catastrophe. As the clock ticks down, the military scrambles to intercept the missile midair from Alaska. At the same time, intelligence teams race to identify the mastermind behind the launch. But the most critical decision lies inside the president's war room. Should they retaliate immediately and risk triggering World War III, or wait for the truth? Can the military stop the strike in time, or will an American city be reduced to ashes? Every passing second raises the tension. If you enjoy high-stakes, time-driven thrillers centered on global catastrophe and political tension, don't miss this one. The film is A House of Dynamite, a pulse-pounding thriller with strong IMDb ratings, available on Netflix. The story follows an elite army unit pushing through the final 24 hours of their most dangerous training exercise. At first, everything feels like a routine drill, but the simulation turns into a brutal, real battle when a massive alien killing machine appears before them. This is no longer a test, it's a fight for survival. As chaos erupts, a fearless combat engineer steps forward, risking everything to protect his unit from an unknown and unstoppable enemy. Can human weapons stand against this alien war machine? Or will the entire elite team be wiped out? The action and suspense will leave you stunned. If you enjoy alien survival, intense military missions, and explosive sci-fi action, don't miss this one. The film is War Machine, a highly anticipated sci-fi action thriller arriving on Netflix on March 6, 2026. What if saving the world from a terrifying military robot meant bringing an older, far more dangerous machine back to life? The story follows an AI expert whose technology is stolen and used to build an advanced, lethal military robot. Chaos erupts when the new machine goes out of control and begins taking over global networks and digital infrastructure. With no other way to stop it, the expert is forced to reactivate and upgrade an older prototype, a machine once responsible for deadly destruction. Now, the only hope for humanity may be the very creation that once threatened it. A brutal war between two machines has begun. Can the old robot defeat this more powerful military enemy, or will humanity become enslaved by its own technology? If you enjoy AI survival stories and spine-chilling sci-fi horror, this is one you shouldn't miss. The film is M3 GAN 2.0, a chilling sci-fi horror sequel available on Netflix and for rental on Amazon Prime. What if you witnessed a murder in the middle of the ocean, but everyone around you insisted it never happened? The story follows a journalist invited on a luxury yacht voyage across open waters. At first, the journey feels elegant, exclusive, and unforgettable, but on the very first night, everything changes. From the neighboring cabin 10, she sees a woman being thrown into the sea. Panicked, she alerts the crew, only to face a chilling response. According to them, the cabin is empty, and no passenger is missing. Soon, everyone on board begins questioning her sanity, insisting she imagined the entire incident. Is the journalist losing her grip on reality, or is a terrifying conspiracy hiding behind the empty cabin 10? Trapped in the middle of the ocean, this mystery will leave you questioning everything. If you enjoy psychological thrillers, dark mysteries, and suspense that keeps you guessing, don't miss this one. The film is The Woman in Cabin 10, a dark and gripping mystery thriller available on Netflix. What if something as simple as watching a neighbor's cat turned you into the #1 target of the city's most dangerous gangsters? The story follows an ordinary bartender living in New York. His quiet life takes a dark turn when a neighbor asks him to watch their cat for a few days. The real trouble begins when he discovers a mysterious safe deposit key hidden inside the cat carrier. Within moments, Russian mobsters, ruthless hitmen, and corrupt cops are all hunting him down. When these criminals brutally murder his girlfriend, he stops running and steps into a deadly game of revenge. Can one man survive against a web of ruthless gangsters? And what secret lies behind that key, a secret worth killing for? This violent cat and mouse game will leave your mind spinning. If you enjoy underworld crime, dark suspense, and revenge-driven thrillers, don't miss this one. The film is Caught Stealing, a gritty New York crime thriller with strong ratings, available on Netflix, Amazon Prime Video, and Apple TV. What happens when a feared gangster, missing for years, returns to his city in the middle of World War II's devastation? The story is set in the 1940s, as relentless bombings have reduced an entire city to ruins. After years in hiding, a legendary crime leader returns, driven by a dangerous and destructive purpose. But his return reveals a dark twist. His empire is no longer his. His own son has taken control of the gang and the throne he once ruled. Now he faces two wars at once, stopping a deadly Nazi conspiracy tied to his secret mission and confronting betrayal within his own bloodline. This is the final reckoning for his sins, where he must choose, protect his legacy, or burn everything to the ground. Can he dismantle the deadly Nazi plot? And in this brutal war between father and son, who will rule in the end? The dark suspense and explosive action will leave you shaken. If you enjoy ruthless gangsters, secret war missions, and masterful dark suspense, don't miss this one. The film is Peaky Blinders: The Immortal Man, one of the most anticipated gangster releases, arriving on Netflix March 20th, 2026.